Employee. Vernon's behavior in last month's incident was certainly unprofessional enough that our company was justified in firing him. But several higher-ranking employees whose behavior in the incident was just as unprofessional haven't been fired and are treated as employees in good standing. So for the sake of consistency, the company must give Vernon his job back. So the conclusion is the last sentence. Wasn't the uncle in it was Uncle Vernon, right? In Harry Potter?
Yes!
Yeah, he seems like someone who would be involved in an incident.
What house are you, by the way?
I'm a Ravenclaw.
I'm not surprised by that.
I always go between Slytherin and Ravenclaw, but
Stop! When I go to if you want to go to Harry Potter World, Malika, I will go any day of the week. Just tell me and let's go.
Absolutely.
Have you been?
I went when I was younger, but I definitely want to go and do a grown-up Harry Potter World.
I've never went. I want to go so badly. I'm a Gryffindor, and so but sometimes it's hard to find a friend that's a Slytherin. So I'm like, anyways, so whenever we were talking, sorry for whoever's watching this video, but Katie, one time we were talking about our tutors going, and we didn't have a Slytherin. And Katie was like, "Well, I'll just be the stand-in Slytherin," which is funny because she's the least Slytherin person there is. Anyways, all right. So, but several higher-ranking employees whose behavior in the incident was just as impressionable haven't been fired and are treated as employees in good standing. So, for the sake of consistency, the company must give Vernon his job back. Is this good reasoning?
Mm-mm.
No. What is our reasoning?
Because they didn't fire the higher ranking employee, they should hire him back, Vernon back.
Yeah. Why is that wrong? Or why, what are these people failing to consider or assuming?
One, Vernon's role in the company is clear. It's not as important as the higher ranking employees. Vernon might be more replaceable than the other ones, than the higher ranking employees.
And so what if we both killed somebody and I go to jail and you don't? And then I'm like, well, Malika didn't go to jail for killing somebody. So the company, for the sake of consistency, should release Nicole from jail. Would that be your solution?
No.
What do you think would be a better solution for the sake of consistency?
Oh, to also fire the higher ranking employees.
Yeah, how do you know which one is which either?
Yeah.
Or excellent, because I feel like what makes this question more challenging is it's telling for the sake of consistency.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go ahead and start with A.
A, illicitly using a key term in different senses during the course of the argument. I don't think it's using different terms. I don't know what the term would be.
Equivocation. Yeah, no.
B, confusing behavior that is sufficient to justify an action with behavior that is required to justify that action. Okay. So what is sufficient necessary in this stimulus? I would say so is it sufficient to fire the employee for this unprofessional behavior? Or no, it's sufficient to...
Let's skip over B for a second and come back to it.
Okay. B, offering it as primary evidence, a premise that is equivalent to the argument's conclusion. No.
We got circular reasoning going on here? No.
D, treating behavior that can sometimes result in a certain consequence as behavior that always results in that consequence. I don't think that's not what's happening here.
I think sometimes people think that, well, what Vernon did can sometimes result in a certain consequence, like getting fired, that it should always result in that. But no, because they're saying that the company must give Vernon his job back. So clearly we don't think this.
Mm-mm.
All right, what about E?
inferring that one specific response to a problem is necessary without considering another equally supportive response. So that's the one I chose. And that's wrong because we're not saying, we're not considering another equally supported without considering another equally supported response. What's another equally supported response, I guess?
You said this one was wrong.
Yeah, I said E and it was not correct.
Are you sure?
Oh, no, E is correct. I said B. It was flipped.
I was like, okay.
Okay.
No, I got scared for a second because I was like, this is literally what we predicted. So we conclude that one specific response to a problem. So what is the one specific what was the one specific response to a problem?
Hiring back Brennan back because the other employee
Mm-hmm.
hired.
We say like we have to give Vernon his like giving Vernon his job back is necessary without considering another equally supported response. So what could the other equally supported response be?
Firing the higher ranking.
Excellent. So back to B, confusing behavior that is sufficient to justify an action. I'm like, okay, do we confuse the idea that giving Vernon giving Vernon jobs back would be sufficient for having consistency, as if having consistency requires Vernon to like, sorry, I'm just thinking of even how this would work.
Yeah, we're forcing a sufficient necessary. So that should be, when I start forcing it, that should be my hint that it's not the answer.
Yeah, like I don't even, yeah.
Okay.
That should be your hint.
Yeah.
We tend to know when this is happening.
Yeah, that is true.